On July 20th, 1969, humanity achieved what was once thought impossible, landing astronauts on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to walk on the lunar surface, while Michael Collins orbited above in the command module. This historic event, broadcast live to millions around the world, was a triumph of science, engineering, and human determination. However, for decades, a persistent conspiracy theory has claimed that the Apollo 11 moon landing was an elaborate hoax staged by NASA. But is there any truth to these claims, or is the moon landing hoax theory itself a fabrication? The origins of the moon landing. Hoax theory. The moon landing hoax theory gained traction in the mid-1970s, fueled by books like Bill Kaysing's We Never Went to the Moon, 1976. Kaysing, a former technical writer for a NASA contractor, argued that the US government faked the moon landing to win the space race against the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Proponents of the theory point to alleged inconsistencies in NASA's photographs, videos, and technical data as evidence of a staged event. Common arguments of the hoax theorists. 1. The waving flag. One of the most cited pieces of evidence is the American flag planted by Armstrong and Aldrin, which appears to wave in the wind. 1. Hoax theorists argue that since the moon has no atmosphere, there should be no wind to make the flag move. 1. However, NASA explains that the flag's movement was caused by the astronauts adjusting it, and the ripples were due to the flag's material being stiffened by a horizontal rod. 2. Lack of stars in photos. Critics often note that the Apollo photos show no stars in the lunar sky. 2. NASA clarifies that the camera exposures were set to capture the bright lunar surface and the astronauts' spacesuits, making the stars too faint to appear in the images. 3. Multiple light sources. Some claim that shadows in the photos appear to come from multiple light sources, suggesting studio lighting. 3. In reality, the uneven lunar terrain and reflective surface create complex shadows, all originating from the sun. 4. The Van Allen radiation belts. Skeptics argue that astronauts could not have survived the intense radiation of the Van Allen belts surrounding Earth. 4. NASA, however, carefully planned the Apollo missions to pass through the thinnest parts of the belts, minimizing exposure. 4. The spacecraft's shielding also provided adequate protection. 5. The C rock. A photo from Apollo 16 appears to show a rock with the letter C on it, which some claim is a prop marker. 5. This was later debunked as a hair or fiber that accidentally got onto the film during development. Scientific and historical evidence. Supporting the moon landing. The moon landing hoax theory has been thoroughly debunked by experts in photography, physics, and space exploration. Here are some key points supporting the authenticity of the Apollo missions. 1. Lunar samples. The Apollo missions brought back 382 kilograms, 842 pounds, of moon rocks, which have been studied by scientists worldwide. 1. These samples are chemically distinct from Earth rocks and contain isotopes that could only have formed in the absence of an atmosphere. 2. Third-party verification. The Soviet Union, America's Cold War rival, tracked the Apollo missions and never disputed the moon landings. 2. Additionally, independent observatories and amateur astronomers monitored the missions. 3. Laser retroreflectors. The Apollo missions left retroreflectors on the moon's surface, which are still used today to measure the Earth-moon distance with laser precision. 3. These devices could only have been placed by humans. 4. Thousands of witnesses. The Apollo program involved over 400,000 people, including engineers, scientists, and contractors. 4. Maintaining a conspiracy of this scale for over 50 years would be virtually impossible. 5. High-resolution images. Modern lunar orbiters, such as NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, have captured high-resolution images of the Apollo landing sites, showing the descent stages, footprints, and equipment left behind. Why do people believe the hoax? The moon landing hoax theory persists for several reasons. For some, it is a distrust of government and authority. For others, it is a misunderstanding of science and photography. The theory also thrives in the age of the internet, where misinformation spreads rapidly and confirmation bias leads people to accept claims that align with their preconceptions. Conclusion. The evidence overwhelmingly supports the fact that the Apollo moon landings were real. The hoax theory, while intriguing to some, is built on misunderstandings and misinformation.